this is like a whole new thing for us.
The sailboat isn't new.
Be very careful.
Yeah.
What do you think of the boat?
But this little one is.
Is this okay?
We're Lauren and Kirk, and this is our latest edition, Baby Renata. Last time we left off in Michigan, where we spent the off-season having our first baby and hunting for a little piece of earth to call our own. I love it. We just left the real estate office.
Bought a property!
We're property owners! Yeah. With winter on its way, it's almost time for us to pack up and head south. But first, we leave the baby with Grandma. So we've got 4 days till we leave for Florida.
Where this would be a crazy thing to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah! There you go. Nice! For the bourbon.
So begins our 4th annual migration south, back to live aboard our sailboat. So we're headed to the boat with the baby in tow. From Michigan to Florida, it's almost 20 hours of driving. Our biggest road trip by far with our little 4-month-old.
I just wanted to say that we're here.
We're here in Florida.
So we just drove for the last 3 days down from Michigan, escaped the snow. This is like a whole new thing for us. Traveling with a baby, everything's slower.
Yeah, we actually thought it was going to go a lot better than I think it did.
Yeah, it was
because
pretty rough.
The 3 trips that we had taken to northern Michigan, which were only about 4-hour trips, she did great. But she did not like being in the car for more than 4 hours.
Yeah, that's kind of the limit. So in the past when we've come down to Florida, we have stayed in the van in the boatyard, which has been fine for the 2 of us. We can rough it. But with the little one...
We were at a super nice Airbnb, aren't we? We're going to be here for a couple weeks while mostly Kirk gets the boat ready.
Lauren's going to hang out here and take care of Renata, edit videos. She'll probably come for a couple of days to help me do a few things, but I have 3 weeks to get as much done in the boat as possible so that Renata doesn't have to spend the first months in her newborn life living in a dirty, dusty, nasty boatyard. So my goal is to be out of the boatyard before we are out of this Airbnb, and it is going to be tough, but we haven't seen the boat yet. We're gonna head over to the boat and see how she's looking. I hope this is the right key. Here we go. There she is. All wrapped up still. Be very careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like rock climbing. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Again.
There's rat everywhere. Oh, it's running. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
This is kind of a difficult feeling to convey, but I'm gonna try and do it because I don't think I'm alone. I don't know. Let me know if anyone's felt this way. Whenever you get to a boatyard and you get back to your boat, or even at like a marina or something, I kind of feel like territorial. Oh, we can't even like get in here. Like this boat right here, like this is something I own. And I don't own any of the space around me. I don't have any control over it or any say over it or anything. But I always feel just like a little bit of like, oh, that guy put his stuff under my boat. That car is where I should be parking. That is not our stuff under our boat. This is not our trailer. like it at all matters, because it doesn't at all. But there's like this like little deep thing in the back of my mind, like what's been going on around my boat while I wasn't here. This is my baby, this is what I care about, and like that is someone else's baby, and that one over there is someone else's baby. And if you've ever felt that way, let me know. It's a weird thing because we're renting space. We're not renting anything around us or anything. Like we have no rights. We have nothing. It just feels invasive. Like everything about the boatyard feels invasive. But it's just a thought that's been going through my head as I showed up here and going through my boat and thinking about all these rats crawling all over it. Like, get off my boat, rats! Maybe I have too much rat poop fumes in my mind. I'm gonna get this all sprayed off. Hey.
Yeah?
I have some good news. All the time we spent waxing the deck before we left, I think paid off.
Yeah.
All the green is just lifting right off.
Alright.
So I'm super excited.
I hope you filmed your excitement.
I'm filming right now. I just wanted to share the good news. We've got a big old frog living in the cockpit drain. He's sticking his head out right now. When I was washing down the cockpit, I just saw his little head pop up and the water was just flowing past him and he was just like happy as a pig and sh. All right, I love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Before, after. I'm so glad we waxed the boat before we left. It almost looks perfect. I didn't use any soap, just a light scrub and some water. We're definitely gonna wax the decks again. That was awesome. It's Renata's first time on the boat. What do you think?
She thinks.
I don't care.
I don't care, I'm hungry. Oh, I want to see though.
What do you think, baby girl?
What do you think?
What do you think of the boat?
Yeah.
Is this okay? Once we get it in the water and we uncover all the windows, it's way more fun. I'm gonna go save her because she's about to go behind that pillow. This is a spot of the boat that has been troubling us since we bought it.
Pretty sure it's coming in through the dory box up there.
The issue is somewhere there's water getting into the core of the deck and it is spreading to the point where with one finger I can flex the skin of the fiberglass in the cabin roof here. Looks as though it's been repaired or attempted to be repaired from the top side by just like gooping it full of whatever. It looks like there's silicone in there, there's epoxy, there's all sorts of stuff. It also looks like it was repaired from the bottom side. Someone put some extra supporting glass up, but the leak continues. All of these Tartan 37 boats suffer from some sort of deck core rot. We did a repair of a section over near the chain plates last time we were hauled out. This would be a much, much larger section. And I don't know. I feel like we gotta do something to fix this. It's the end of my first morning here. I'm gonna go back for lunch, see if I can stop by the welders to fix our cracked spreader. So I've got the solar panels up, I've got the bimini up. I'm starting to be able to move through the boat. That's the end of my first full day at the boat. I'm filling my water tanks because I just flushed them. They're about full. Tested most of the electrical inside the boat, the bilge. So far, most everything looks pretty good inside. But the big thing, aside from the fuel tank, which I know I have to clean, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this deck rot. I think I gotta fix it. That and the thing that I learned is absolutely do not leave water tanks open when you haul your boat out for storage. It's a bad idea. We thought, oh, maybe with the dehumidifier, water tanks would dry out and wouldn't get all moldy and gunky and everything, but that was way worse. We got spiders in there with spider webs and spider poop and all sorts of things, so I flushed that all out. I think that was it today. All right, this is day 4. I think having a baby has made us soft. In the last 3 years, we have camped in Chip, right next to the boat in the boatyard.
What you doing?
Cooking up some dinner and trying not to get eaten alive by the no-see-ums. And the boatyard's not a very comfortable, friendly place to try and live for any amount of time, and we have spent significant amounts of time in boatyards. And the van has made it much more comfortable because our normal course of action has been to try and keep the van as clean as possible so that no matter what we do during the day to the boat, we always have a clean place to come back to at the end of the day and go to sleep. Also, it's been an amazing storage shed. The van has been just amazing for the last 2.5 years. With a baby, we didn't want her to spend like any time at all living in a boatyard. That's just not a place for a baby. Having an Airbnb has been really, really nice. There's some things that don't have to be done on the boat. Like I'm polishing all of our rigging, turnbuckles and things where I can keep an eye on Renata. And it's so nice to have a nice clean shower that people aren't sandblasting or whatever, and there's just bottom paint all over the shower stall. Like, it's a nice clean place to live. It's a healthy environment. We have a dishwasher, which is just a game changer. But to me, that feels soft. Like, when we're in the boatyard, it's like, go, go, go. Gotta get everything done and get out of here as fast as possible, because the longer we stay here, the more I feel like I want to die. Despite feeling like I'm wasting copious amounts of time every single day driving to and from the boat, I think it means that it focuses my energy while I'm there at the boat to make the most of my time. In the end, I think we might actually be being more efficient. So that's morning thoughts for day 4. So I've spent the first few days here in the boatyard hemming and hawing about what I'm gonna do with this deck leak. I didn't want to come in and put in all new balsa core, make a giant mess of the interior of the boat, make a huge project. And so I've been trying to just figure out how can I fix this to the best of my abilities right now to make it safe, and that maybe will fix the deck leak. So I've read about someone who has basically applied a vacuum to the core of their deck of their boat. There is my setup, which drops the air pressure, which decreases the boiling point of water to the point where on a warm day, the moisture that's in the rotten core should vaporize, which will then allow it to be sucked out by the vacuum. I don't have all the vacuum bagging stuff, so I've sort of hatched a little bit of a wackadoo plan here. Lauren and I have been storing bed sheets and all of our clothes in these Space Saver vacuum bags. It's kind of ridiculous, but I'm sucking out water vapor, so something's happening. It's gonna do 2 things. One, maybe I will be able to suck out some of the vaporized moisture, but what I'm really hoping it's gonna do is going to allow me to suck epoxy in from above on holes over here. Have it suck all the way out to the hole that I drilled in the bottom here. All right, I finished drilling all the holes. Now I'm gonna try and seal it up with some plastic and butyl. So I'm gonna be applying a vacuum from here. I'm going to be injecting epoxy in from up here. If I get some very fluid epoxy up in there, penetrating epoxy, it's probably gonna just wanna go with gravity. But if I put a vacuum on it, I'm hoping it will just completely fill all the voids. We'll see. So I've covered all my holes here with butyl and plastic. I'm gonna go down below and prep the vacuum pump. Now we're playing with gas. It's definitely sucking the moisture out of the deck. It's not holding the vacuum, so this might not work for totally drying out the core, but I think it'll definitely suck epoxy down into the void. Clearly standing here and holding the vacuum long term is not going to be very productive. When you're working by yourself, you got to get extra crafty. Look, Ma, no hands. Now I know I can't run this long term this way because the vacuum's gonna burn out. I think I can turn this on for 5 or 10 minutes every once in a while the sun's out and it's hot, and just keep sucking out moisture for a couple of days. Hopefully that'll dry it out somewhat.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it's just, you're just saying the same thing over and over again. I'm not sure I agree. Oh. Yeah, well, when you put it like that, you're really getting serious now, putting your foot down.
I'm sick of living like I'm only ever given so that I can take the praise.
Well, I was a little sketched out when we went to drop the spreader off at the welders. Kind of looked like the place that we tried to have our arch fabricated, and we kind of got the runaround for 4 or 5 days. Our mast stepping is scheduled for Monday. It's now Friday, but we just got the spreader back, and holy smokes, this thing is now solid. I was a little worried about the beading on the end here changing the length, but look at that. So the only downside is I need some new hardware because it doesn't quite make it all the way through now. That was Kirk's Welding in Englewood. Thanks guys, appreciate it. Looks fantastic. It's gonna be stronger than ever. Today I got the spreader primed and painted, the mast about 75% rigged and ready to go for restepping. Ran the vacuum on the deck, and I got the boot stripe painted. Not a super busy day, but it takes a while to prep for painting. So I've done 1 coat, I'm gonna go do the 2nd coat, and then I am out for the night. I'm gonna get your cheek.
It's mast stepping day. We have most everything ready. All of our chocks, the Still Glide, ready to go in because that is the hardest part of mast stepping. Trying to get the chocks in the collar. It's a pain in the butt. And we have the baby occupied. We'll see how long that lasts.
Well, we got the mast up today. It went about as smoothly as they normally go. I don't think we've done this once yet without having some sort of issue. We were trying to kind of yell back and forth with the guys that were operating the crane, with the big crane engine roaring outside, and we're down below in the boat, and Renata just starts bawling as soon as I yelled, and every time I yelled out instructions or what was going on, she started crying louder and louder, and I don't think she's ever really heard yelling before, so it just sort of added a whole new dimension to it all. Unfortunately, I twisted some halyards behind the lazy jacks, and they're above the spreader, so I can't fix it without doing a little short mast climb. The first couple of days here have been pretty emotional for me. If you've been watching our series for a while now, you know that I'm not like a super manly man, like, I have no emotions, like, I'm not afraid to, you know, show the human experience. This has been the first time in 4 months that I have spent any significant amount of time away from my daughter. Prior to this, the longest I've been away from Renata since she was born was like a dentist appointment. Like I've literally spent 24/7 in the same room as her almost. Spending an entire day away from her and going into a nasty, chemically ridden, it's just a horrible environment. And to go from being at home playing with my daughter on the floor to spending all day in a boatyard, it really makes me question, like, is everything that I'm doing absolutely vitally important to the safety of our boat? Most years we have spent like an entire afternoon polishing all of the metal on the boat and cleaning all the wood interior with wood wax and wood cleaner, and like I'm just not doing those things right now. We'll do them somewhere on anchor. And I've done them all on the hard because it's just easiest to do that before we load the boat all up with all of our stuff. But this year the priority is definitely getting out of the boatyard as fast as possible. So anyhow, I've been rambling a whole lot. Lauren's gonna hate me when it comes time to edit this. But I am at the boatyard and I am ready to get to work. But I see why they call it total boat epoxy. Because when you're done, pretty much your total boat is gonna be just epoxy. It's moving day.
Hey, tomorrow we splash.